1974. For Portuguese troops in southern Africa, a changing of the guard. It is one of the last ceremonies of its kind, for the empire they are defending is dying. A military coup in Lisbon meant Portugal abandoned almost overnight its two huge colonies of Angola and Mozambique. For southern Africa, it was undoubtedly the crucial event of the decade. The dismantling of this 400-year-old empire cut by half the territory ruled by whites and brought in new black governments determined to smash white supremacy in the rest of southern Africa. That supremacy was most entrenched in South Africa itself. At the start of the 70s, South African whites had every reason for confidence in their future. They lived in the richest, most powerful country on the continent and enjoyed a standard of living almost unequaled anywhere in the world. It was a different story for the majority of South Africans who did not have white skin. They were 4/5 of the population. Separated from whites socially and politically, they entered the 70s as they had entered all previous decades, with their lives controlled by the many restrictions of racial segregation known as apartheid. In white areas, they had virtually no political rights, and blacks especially worked in the lowliest of jobs. Though blacks were officially citizens of South Africa, they could only come to white areas if they had work, and they had to live in separate townships outside the white cities. Abroad, apartheid was widely seen as oppression. Demonstrations sometimes recalled the most violent racial clashes of the 1960s. But from behind the buffer of white-ruled Angola, Mozambique, and Rhodesia, many ordinary South Africans ignored the protests. The government did try to make new black friends. Only a few, like Malawi's President Banda, were willing to listen. South Africa argued that projects like the Cabora Bassa Dam in Mozambique would create enough wealth to give blacks a stake in the white-run system and so reduce the chances of racial conflict.